This is a reading from the book of Revelation. I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, "Behold, God's dwelling is with the human race. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people, and God himself will be with them as their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain any more. For the former things have passed away." Behold, God's dwelling is with the human race. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people. And God himself will always be with them as their God. He will wipe every tear from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, or mourning, wailing, or pain. For the old order has passed away. What peace of mind must come to a person of faith when they hear these words from the book of Revelation. God's dwelling is with the human race. He will be with them, and they will be his people. God is united to humanity. God is united to humanity not in a grand and cosmic, majestic way, not in a grand, transcendent way. God comes to the human person to wipe every tear from our eye. God comes to us to hold us close in the safety of a parental embrace. God comes to dwell within the human mind and the human heart as one who tenderly loves with a spousal love. For he will dwell with his people. He will live with you and with me. God comes to us only with love and desires only that we have no tear and that there be no more mourning or wailing or pain, because he is with us in a most tender, personal, and intimate way. Yes, there will still be death in this life, but not eternal death. There will still be sadness, but never despair. There will be difficulties and challenges that sometimes bring us to the very edge of our strength, but there will never be a feeling of hopelessness. There will be suffering, but never mindless suffering. There will only be that suffering that has the capacity to become redemptive. This is the great challenge of the one who follows Christ. We are asked to believe that He is with us in every circumstance, because that is who God is. God is the one who has made God's dwelling with the human race. He comes to each one of us. He comes to each one of us and says, I make my dwelling within you because I love you and because you are mine. So be not afraid, and may my peace be with you always. To walk in faith every day of our lives means that no matter what circumstances may occur in this life, no matter how dark the day may be, I know that I do not walk the pathways of this life alone. He is with me. He is with me. And because of this, I have nothing to fear. He asks only that I believe, and that in this life I choose to be a person who loves both God and neighbor. If we fully accept the love that God desires to give to each one of us, we will overflow with love for God. And yes, we will overflow with love for one another. And in this choice to love, we will understand what it really means to be a human person. One who is made in the image and the likeness of God. There is no one who has done this more beautifully than Mary. She exemplifies what it means to walk this journey of faith with God, who has made God's dwelling within us. Not a day of Mary's life would pass but that she was not aware of the divine presence. The divine presence that dwells within us. The divine presence that desires to be one with us, and that constantly offers the grace we need to elevate the human mind and the spirit beyond the sphere of the ordinary. And so Mary, who endured an internal suffering beyond our understanding as she stood at the foot of the cross, yet she could bear within herself the divine light. For she was one with the divine presence. That divine presence who had made his dwelling place within her. She comes to all her children, to all of us, and she offers us the same. She comes to us to help us to accept the gift of the Father that has come to us in the Son, who bestows upon us all the light and the strength and the peace of his Holy Spirit. What a precious gift it is to be a child of Mary. She will lead us to a deeper understanding of how much our God is with us and how beloved we are to her beloved Son. Mary will teach us all what it means to know that God has made God's dwelling with us.